Today, we celebrate our late dad, uncle, grandfather, a big brother, and a dear friend, Barkolleh K. Joekai. BJ, the last time we spoke was 3 days to your irreparable demise. It was the first time you ever sounded very sick and unstable. All through the period of your protracted ailment, you always sounded very optimistic, deceivingly giving us hope for your recuperation. But then, Joanna, my wife, the one you affectionately call Mama, had already reviewed your final lab results from the medical center at ERWA Junction and advised that we brace ourselves for the worst outcome, given the cancerous nature of your prostate. She was absolutely right because the multiple blood transfusions could no longer help as your body constantly rejected the blood. You became increasingly anemic, and the excruciating pains also put you in a state of agony as your condition worsened by the hour. BJ, you induced severe pains that you did not deserve. I could feel your pains and hear the tender sound of your fainting heartbeat. I wept silently and unsuccessfully struggled to regain myself. True to my wife's words, you were terminally ill, and your departure to eternity was imminent. Immediately, the feeling of emptiness consumed my entire being. I was scared and faced with the reality of losing you, my big brother, and my dear friend. Sadly, I had no means whatsoever to resuscitate or revive you to your once upon a time vibrant, lively, and lovely state. So you see, I could really understand why those shabby words could hardly proceed fittingly from your mouth during our final and difficult conversation. I was really startled, dumbfounded, and completely disoriented. BJ, you have dealt me a blow that spears my body like a double-edged sword, breaking down my bones, tearing up my flesh, and ravaging my organs with my blood gushing out like the unstoppable eye-catching fountain of the St. Paul River at our village, Tukoba, where you and I used to go fishing at night, and in the day, we would relish the beauty of God's astounding creation. My big brother, I know we all have to leave this world someday, but to tell you the truth, I am really broken by your sudden departure. I know it will please you to depart before me for obvious reasons, as we both knew, but doing so at age 67 was quite too early. Well, there's a maxim that says, good people don't live long. If this maxim is anything to go by, then your passing was not a surprise, BJ. You were the epitome of goodness, kind-heartedness, compassion, and benevolence. With all of these qualities combined and coupled with our genuine friendship, which was solidly built on the principles of our unshakable bond, respect, and reciprocity, I am beginning to find some degree of consolation. I'm sure you still remember how we called each other, right? You simply called me Joe or small brother, and I reciprocated with Big J or Big Brother. Wow, I can't believe that's not going to happen anymore. In fact, on your last birthday, October 15 this year, I was unable to make the usual morning call in 3 decades. Well, just know that even in your death, I'm still confident that our friendship remains unshakable. It sounds bizarre, right? No, it doesn't. It's for real because I know you'll always talk to me whenever, however, wherever you want to. Probably you'll just stop by and stare at me with those electrifying beamy smiles, marvel in admiration, or unleash loads of blessings on me, your small brother, and your body, as you always did. Although I may not reciprocate, since we now live in two different worlds, however, I'm assured that your implicit thought of me as the little kid who made you a proud father will definitely suffice. The fond memories, your counsel, and the inspiration you gave me to become the man I am today gives you peace of mind and makes me love you more. Even in your death, I am proud to be your son and to have you as my dad and my best friend. BJ, as humans, you had your shortcomings, as we all do, but you set yourself apart, evidenced by the exemplary life you lived. You touched so many lives, and the impact of your service to humanity is indicative of the distinct honors you're receiving as you depart the world today. BJ, you are truly my hero and deserve my honor and respect. You became the people's nurse, advocate, humanitarian, and peacemaker. As registered nurse, you serve in various capacities, including community health department coordinator, outpatient department supervisor, immunization supervisor, and relief coordinator at the current Lutheran Hospital, where you provide health care, humanitarian, and relief services to the people of Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea for more than 30 years. You also serve as district health officer of Salaye and Zozo districts for a considerable period of time, contributing significantly to the health needs of the people of the two districts. As part of your burning desire for a cohesive society, you were very instrumental in establishing Radio Zolaye and served as its first board chairman. Today, the radio station provides equal opportunity for the people to be heard. It is a great source of information and unity in Lofa County. On several occasions, you led efforts to mobilize resources to keep schools open, especially when parents couldn't afford to pay tuition and fees in order to pay teachers and keep schools open. Your contributions to the education of the future leaders of our districts, the county, and Liberia were quite immeasurable. Up to the time of your death, you kept seeking avenues for financial and material support to keep current hospital open and operational in these difficult times. You were very relentless in pursuing that which benefited the people of Zozo and Salai districts. You left indelible imprints on the minds of everyone, BJ. Like me, you also unsuccessfully ran for a seat in the House of Representatives. Despite your loss, you surprisingly stepped up your efforts in contributing to the creation of a safe, better, and cohesive society in Zozo and Salaya districts, respectively. Indeed, you were a selfless and noble statesman. While seeking refuge with us in the small Guinean town of Pau during the first phase of the Civil War, you receive a call from Dr. Mark H. Monson, the medical director at Corinth Lutheran Hospital at the time, to go to Zaza. Without any second thought, you sacrificially return to Zaza with the threat and possibility of being killed on the very day the town was captured by rebels. That was a tough call. You did not hesitate in joining Dr. Monson and a very few of your colleagues to reopen the hospital to the public to provide emergency health care, humanitarian, and relief services to victims. Your sacrificial move helped to save lives and provide food and shelter for hundreds of displaced people. You were a good man, and even in your death, you are still a very good man, my friend. When you returned to join us in exile in Yomo, Guinea, following the start of the second phase of the war, your payback was 1 month of incarceration by Guinean authorities who falsely claimed that you aided and abetted former rebel leader Charles Taylor in bringing the war to Liberia. I was also in hiding for the same 1 month period for fear of being arrested on the basis of another false claim that I was a rebel general who fought alongside Mr. Taylor. Through God's miraculous intervention, you were released, and I subsequently came out of hiding when the fights about our innocence were unraveled. BJ, I can vividly recall how the atmosphere was emotionally charged when you were released from prison and the magnitude of the honor and recognition you received from the Guinean authorities when they got to know who truly you were. It was a solemn and momentous moment. From that moment on, you became a hero who rekindled the hope of thousands of refugees and Guineans by providing them the needed healthcare services at your private practice in a refugee camp and a government hospital, respectively. You gained enviable name recognition in both Liberian and Guinean communities just by a patient knowing that you were the one designated to treat them, gave them hope of recovery. You have a special favor from God, and today I am confident that you are celebrating with Him in paradise. I never ever doubted the measure of your selflessness, and even in your death today, I wouldn't do so by any measure. You had an endless love for me, my brothers, sisters, grandchildren, nephews, and nieces. You and your late elder brother, Uncle Bemen Joekai, were the nuclei of our family. Both of you maintain constant communication with everyone, checking on your brothers and sisters, traveling and resolving issues, checking with us, and having fun with your grandchildren no matter the distance. For the two big Joes, Amos and Tus, your grandchildren, they are all in Monrovia and somehow involved with your funeral. But Naomi, small Jojo, and Ezekiel are millions of miles away in the United States, and they keep asking whether or not you are gone forever. Small Jojo and Ezekiel also ask if they won't sing for you anymore. Do you remember they used to record special songs for you that always gladden your heart? Even on your sick bed, you will always ask, have Joe and Ezekiel done my song yet? They have begun to miss you so badly now, and the questions can't just stop coming, BJ. Our frustration now is the fact that we are millions of miles away, and due to the current political situation in the country, my wife Joanna and I cannot be in Liberia with the boys for our closure with you. It really pains my heart. But at the same time, I am very sure you are happy that I did not travel to Liberia for your funeral. Because when you were alive, You sternly warned me with tears to leave Liberia and stay away. I know I was very stubborn and wanted to stay in the country no matter what. But seeing you weep for me to leave, coupled with the last attempt on my life, that fateful night by unknown men, I took the advice from you and my wife and left Liberia. But leaving me so abruptly at this time, BJ, that I cannot visit the country wasn't part of our plan at all. I really feel betrayed by you, my dear friend, and my big brother. Imagine your elder brother, Uncle Beme, left us in June, and 4 months after, you also followed. Did you both actually plan your demises? I need to ask you because how can you guys leave us with an interval of 4 months apart? This is just too much for us. Sometimes I'm tempted to question God about these irreparable losses in our family. But again, God is unquestionable because He's all knowing, almighty, and the only giver and taker of life. Well, BJ, I hope we did our best in loving you back. The shared feeling isn't going away because you never spare any moment to attend to our family and society matters in general, no matter the nature or who was involved. You were always there when we needed you, so God will reward you abundantly. My dear big brother and my friend, a greater part of my consolation is the unwavering support and inspiration we got from you and your brother to enable us to aspire for greater educational achievements. Now is the time that you guys are supposed to be proudly reaping the benefits of your investments, but you both have left already. For example, my cousin Valai Jokai has 2 degrees, one in agronomy and the other in chemistry, and is currently doing his master's in environmental science while instructing at the University of Liberia. My sister, Lopu Jokai, has a degree in economics and currently works for the General Auditing Commission. My brother, Kove Jokai, has a degree in accounting and an advanced diploma in software development and network administration. He is the internal control manager at CSAF Liberia Limited. My niece Noai Jokai has a degree in general agriculture. My cousin Vangela Jokai has a degree in economics and currently lives and works in Dubai. My brother Pio Jokai has also departed this world, and may his soul rest in peace. My sister Bese Jokai, your mother's namesake, is gradually climbing the ladder. And of course, your son, Josiah F. Jokai Jr., lives in the United States with his family and is currently doing his PhD, a doctoral degree in industrial and organizational psychology. Also, all of your grandchildren are in school and doing very well. It looks as if you and your brother simply plan to set us up and then leave us. Well, let me assure you that we remain grateful to you, BJ, and your brother, Uncle Beme, for bringing us forth into this world and transforming us into the proud men and women we are. We promise the both of you to do for your children, your grandchildren, that which you guys did for us, and to be the exemplary leaders that society will be proud of. That is exactly what you guys always wish for us to become. We'll definitely fulfill your dreams, my dear friend. BJ, it is quite unfortunate that you were constrained to succumb to prostate cancer. We do not have we do not have to let many more men die of this disease. So, on behalf of the family, my wife Joanna and I will discuss with the management of the current Lutheran Hospital, the health institution you serve for more than 3 decades, to establish the Barkolleh Joekai Prostate Center. It is our ardent hope that the hospital and the Lutheran Church in Liberia will accept our proposal, giving your historic service provided to them for a complete half of your lifetime. Once accepted, we'll support the center to create awareness, sensitize the public, manage and treat the prostate at the early stage to prevent it from developing into a cancerous stage. I am sure this will be in furtherance of your mission to treat, care, and support humanity. This is the least we can do, BJ. So, Big Brother, in the fullness of time, the family will be fittingly memorialize you and your brother. But for now, may God richly bless your gentle souls. God bless you, and goodbye, my dear big brother and friend.